All I really need is Wi-Fi. Get money on DeFi. Mega cash on M.I.M.S. You better run when the runners run. Show you how to get your money up. Dollar inflated like bubble gum. Markets are jumping like double dutch. Buying up gold till I get a ton. Crypto, yeah, I got some. You better run when the runners run. You better run when the runners run.
Good evening, everyone. It is Tuesday, February 11th, 2025. We just got back from Oklahoma to see some real world assets. So, brother, great to see you. Had a blast with the whole crew from Trusted Smart Chain. You're back, ready to run. What's good, bro?
Man, Oklahoma. Shout out to Oklahoma. Oklahoma might have changed my life. Okay. Oklahoma might have changed my life. All right. Fired up and excited, man. We had a great time in Oklahoma. Man, folks, I'm telling you, it's about to get really good. It's getting really good for those who are in the right places, who are in the right assets. For those who are not, I'm really concerned for you. Okay. You really should be doing certain things. You know, if you've been running with us and you see the information we're putting out, it's getting down to the wire. It's getting down to the wire. It's, you know, the musical chairs, you know, it's almost over, you know, in regards to your opportunity to acquire these assets that we've been talking about for years. This cheap, you know, this low. But brother, I'm pumped up for the show. I know we're gonna talk about these metals. Let me clap these bricks, man, because
yeah,
you know, I gotta do that. Clap these bricks, you know, and then one day I'm gonna have two gold bars just as big as these bricks to clap. But right now we're gonna flex with the 1 ounce gold bar, okay? Because we got some emergency information that we gotta share tonight. But I'm pumped up and excited as always, brother.
Yeah, so last weekend, Ricardo and I went out with the Trusted Smart Chain crew, associates, advisors. Awesome. They just know how to really treat you well. Friday night we had an amazing steak dinner at a private event in the restaurant. Saturday we got up early, went to a couple real world asset facilities, and then, you know, kind of did some networking later that night. But it was just great to see the trust and transparency and the magnitude of what they're doing there. But before we get into like officially, you know, showing you guys some raw, real footage from that website, we got to talk about real world assets, guys. Okay. Because that's what we talk about all the time. And gold hits another all-time high, over 2,900 now, a market cap of 19.6 trillion. It won't be long before we're at 20 trillion. And, you know, they're stopping selling gold on some places because they don't have it. So M.I.M.S, you know, this is your specialty. Maybe break it down about just how massive this run on gold is.
Folks, this is an emergency. I've been putting out videos all over my social media today. I got a call from one of my sources that I met out in Belize, who's very high up in the financial sector, that knows a lot of people in, you know, the big banks, okay, and in government as well. And she's telling me that there's going to be a reevaluation of gold in July, okay, around that time, because Basel III takes place. This is why we're seeing gold take off, break into almost $3,000 an ounce. The COMEX and these other places, they don't have it, okay? They don't have the gold. They're raising premiums, you know, extending the delivery dates. We're going to see, obviously, more inflation, worse inflation as this transition takes place. But it's important that you get your hands, you know, on these assets, gold, which is, you got to remember, folks, gold is a tier 1 asset, which means it is accepted 100% for value. There is zero risk associated to gold. Okay, this is God's money. This is a tier 1 asset. It's money all over the world. It's constitutional money. Okay, and right now what we're seeing, as you can see, the Korean Mint officially halts gold bar sales. You're going to see more of that. People are not going to sell the gold anymore. You won't be able to get it. And we've been talking about this for years, where these assets will be, you'll either be priced out or you just won't be able to buy it. Okay. We've seen gold reevaluation before. This is not new. Okay. 1933, the Gold Coinage Act. They took the gold from the people. Okay. And it was $20 an ounce. And then they reevaluated gold to $35 an ounce, I believe. Okay. Yes, they just reevaluated it overnight. Okay. from what I'm understanding, we're going to see the same thing here. And what she told me was we're probably going to see gold go from either 10 to 20,000, 50 to 70, or 100 to 200 when they reevaluate it. Okay, so Basel III, end game taking place. Banking requirements and standards. Bank have to have real money. You understand? Banks don't have your money right now. Banks don't have real money, gold, and they don't even have the paper money. If you go to the bank and try to pull out 10, 20, 30,000 cash right now, they're going to tell you they have to order the money. You might get it a week or two later. They don't have that much money in there. It's not even money. It's paper. There's no real money in circulation. It's all debt. It's all paper. It's all fiat. This is the time to hold on to real money. Okay. So this is an emergency alert. Obviously, and I've been telling people, you see gold going to almost $3,000 an ounce right now. That is a signal. Prepare, okay, for financial crisis. Prepare, hedge against inflation. All right. So that's what my source told me. That's a solid source. Just get ready. Get ready. But we've been telling people for years, Mike. Get these assets. Hold on to this physical silver. Get the gold. Okay, get into real world blockchains and projects that are, ready for the future of finance and payments. So get some gold.
Yeah, guys. And, when it comes to assets, of course, we have Bitcoin at about 95,000, number 7. We have silver at number 9. Again, the most undervalued asset on the planet. So again, we have the best prices on gold and silver if you want to get those physical assets. But tonight we're focusing on bringing on real world assets onto the blockchain. And I want to share this with you guys. This is a awesome website called M.I.M.S, and it shows you all the different sectors in crypto and how they're doing. So this is for a month period. You can see Bitcoin is 1.1%. It's basically been still. Ethereum's down 17.5%. All of these other ones are the other, areas in crypto: oracles, smart contracts, utilities, NFTs, DeFi, social, bridge, meme coins, DePIN, AI, data services, file storage. The only one that is up in the last month is a sector in the blockchain called RWA, which stands for real world assets. And this is just the beginning. I think this will be the thing that completely changes cryptocurrency and blockchain forever. And we want to actually start using the term digital assets,
right?
Because we're going to have the digital assets that represent the real live physical things that are income producing, that have cash flow, that have real world use coming into the blockchain. It's not just going to be meme coins or chasing this narrative and that narrative and, everything going up and down like crazy. It's going to be steady and consistent. And with what Trump is doing and David Sachs, his cryptos are, it's going to be regulated, and it's going to allow basically the greatest wealth transfer ever.
Man, what an amazing chart you got there, brother, or graph there. That's huge, folks. When I got into blockchain and crypto, once I understood blockchain and I understand the monetary system, and I thought about the evolution of the monetary system, but knowing my history of money with God's money, gold and silver, which is money since the times of Egypt, nothing new under the planet, gold and silver always have value. Money all across the world, constitutional money, all these things that I know, the Bank of International Settlements and banks holding gold and everything we've seen throughout history. And then when I saw blockchain, I knew that to give the blockchain value, it had to tie to real world assets, and that's how I got into this space when I saw that there was gold backed cryptocurrencies and things that were backing the digital asset to substantiate its value. Well, folks, you can clearly see there that right now it's real world assets, commodities, real estate, tokenized, bonds and stocks. That is what's going to really take the crypto market to the next level. It's a $1.64 quadrillion market. Okay. And so some people used to say, oh, you don't need anything to back the digital asset. Yes, you need the real world to connect to the digital world. That is what's going to substantiate its real world long-term longevity and use. But yeah, that was fire to see. And I agree with you, Mike. I think that we're going to see a whole new market, a whole new trend as all this money comes online and as these real world assets and data comes on chain. So this is why we've been telling people, get in early, get in now, get educated, especially get educated.
Yeah, 100%. And let me just explain to you guys why we're so excited about this and how it's nothing like anything we have ever done or have ever seen. So let's talk about oil, because that's where we went. We went to an oil manufacturing, well that's pumping out 7,000 of barrel a day. Now I can just say, oh, this crypto is backed by oil. But if there's not contracts, if there's not an audit, if there's not regulation and paperwork with, courts that can say like, hey, this is real, and if you don't do these certain things, then that asset is now yours. Like if you don't have those contracts and regulation in place, it's useless. I could say anything's backed by this, but if there's no mechanism in the legal structure to tie those two things together, it's completely pointless. So that's why what we're doing with Trusted Smart Chain is so different, is their expertise is bringing companies public onto the NASDAQ and the stock market. Now, instead of doing that, they're going to use their connections, their framework, their experience in those legal contracts that are over 100 pages long to file what you're going to see today. The oil well we were at is going to be filed as a security with the SEC. They're going to be filling out Reg A and Reg D forms so that there has to be an audit. There has to be trust and transparency. And that's why, again, this is completely than anything you have ever seen. You might have think you have seen something like this, but once you understand what we're doing here and the team that's backing it, there is nobody doing anything like this in the entire space.
Yeah. Yeah, folks. When we talk about this stuff, we always know that there's going to be a blockchain, there's going to be a company that actually does the transition for the real world assets, onto chain, tokenizing it, the Web 2 to the Web 3. There has to be a blockchain. There has to be a company. There has to be some way that that actual transition is being facilitated, and that we're going to find that blockchain or that company that's doing it, and we're going to be early to it, and we're going to be first. Okay. And that's where we are right now. That's what we're looking at. That's why we get so excited when we go to Oklahoma and we're seeing the real world assets, when we understand, how the platform works, and how the regulation works, and, the requirements and the use case for the coin and owning the software and things of this nature that we talk about. It's next level. There's a story called 3 Feet from Gold, and people have heard this before. And unfortunately, because a lot of people have had some hiccups in their journey of digging for gold, they have some wins and some losses, they stop early. Don't stop. You understand the value, follow the right people, get the right information. That one hit that you keep digging can strike oil or strike gold, and it will, replace all your losses. Okay. Could change your life forever because you got in that early and you didn't stop. And I'm telling you, we are like on the forefront of this wealth transfer when it comes to these assets, when it comes to this technology. And listen, you're early, take advantage, because the world has changed forever, and this is the greatest time to be alive.
Yeah, sadly, there's people that have been burned by things in the past, and because of that, they're just going to cut everything off and not understand the concept of diversification or of comparing how this works versus that. I mean, imagine if you just quit in anything the first time you failed. You're not going to be successful. So again,
Yeah,
I would urge you guys.
I got my heart broken before, I ain't gonna stop looking for relationships and love. If
if we did that, we would all be single and miserable right now. If our
Right.
first relationship, our second, our third never worked out in our lives, and we just said, you know what, forget it, I'm out. You don't want to get that black pilled. So guys, this is never before seen footage of us in Oklahoma talking to the guy who runs this oil well. And I'll do a little translation. The audio is okay, but it's a little hard because of the wind. But we'll hit kind of some of the key points that we really love to see to validate the legitimacy and trust and transparency of this.
40 miles of pipeline. It goes to these pumps. Everything goes to that CTF over there, Central Tank Facility. That's a 101,000 barrel tank. Right now, daily production is about 7,200 barrels a day. We ship out to Cushing, Oklahoma on Plains' All-American Pipeline, 26,000 barrels every other day. We have 6 offload bays over there. We'll talk about all that over there.
So if you guys missed that or you couldn't hear it, it's 26,000 barrels every other day. And he just keeps going.
That's what's taking your temperature, your density. That's what's grading your oil in your barrels. That's what's telling me how many barrels of oil I'm getting and the quality of the oil. Okay, the API gravity of this oil around here is about 46 gravity at 60 degrees. That's a really good crude. You get WTI prices on that. So you're getting a throughput fee here, and then you're also getting a throughput fee once it leaves the station. So you get it charging twice. There are 2 producers on pipeline. There's Validus and Ovintiv. We have 60 Validus locations on pipe, and we have 8 Ovintiv locations on pipe. And Validus just acquired another acquisition. They have 3 drilling rigs running right now. Their goal is to hit 75 holes per year per rig. And their next one right here is just half a mile down the road. We can hook up the pipe, pretty quick. It's gonna.
So in case you guys missed that, they have 68 different wells just like this, okay, that are going to be tokenized. Not just this one that we were at. There's 68 other ones. And as we were driving out there, Ricardo, every quarter of a mile, there was something very similar to this. I mean, the amount of oil here is massive. I mean, we were like an hour away from Oklahoma City. So to see this type of infrastructure that we're able to tokenize on the blockchain, to me, was just kind of mind-blowing.
Yeah, I mean, it's huge, folks. It's much bigger than people realize. That's one of the things I put out there. It's bigger than people realize. That's why I always say dream bigger. This is why we go out to verify, and get the information ourselves, see that it's real. And yeah, folks, it's real. It's bigger than we realize. And it's going to get bigger because as more business owners, as more, industry and people realize what we're doing with this platform, tokenizing these real world assets, they're going to want to do that as they realize the benefits of the liquidity, and their flexibility in and out of assets, okay, and all the benefits thereof. More and more people are going to gravitate to this, and as they see the world changing, going into blockchain, tokenizing here, tokenizing there, they're going to want to figure out how they can take advantage. So, folks, there's already like 12 real world assets that's getting ready to be tokenized on the platform. They're going to be hundreds, okay, if not more, that will be tokenized on this platform. And all of that benefits the TSC coin, which us as software node holders benefit from.
Yeah, and I just want to be clear with everyone. This is not just like natural resources stuff, right? We're looking at doing luxury resorts. We're looking at doing real estate. We're in talks right now with a lot of famous people that you guys know, whether they be in Hollywood or sports or musicians. We can tokenize anything. We can tokenize intellectual property. If you had a movie star who's been in 30, 40 movies, he can tokenize that. He can put it on the blockchain and raise revenue, fractionalize it. So imagine being able to own your favorite actor or musician, a certain percentage of their royalties that they're earning, and you're getting residuals on that. Or you're just a node operator, and every time that comedian or actor gets paid and he distributes that, they're having to buy the TSC. So that just gives massive demand and massive utility with what we're doing here. All right, let's see here. Listen a little bit more.
I think each well is going to be close to 2,000 barrels a day, so 6,000.
6,000 barrels a day.
These bigger, is that oil that's in there?
Yes. So those are 800 barrel tanks. They produce into one tank, transfer over. Once it transfers over and it hits the run levels, these kick on automatically, run down, shut off, goes over to our station.
And so just so you guys know, this was kind of to the right. This is the place we went to first. And then the next video, I'm going to show you was across the street. So I think this is where the oil's coming up, and then it's going to the reserve in the next video we're going to see. And then if you guys missed, he's talking about how they're also expanding to where they're going to have about 75 more on top of the 68 that they already have.
So it gets measured here, and then it also gets measured as it comes in at the station over there.
And then like, so right there on the bottom left, that kind of oil well you see right there, that's where the next one's going to be that you guys will see. That's the big tanker that holds it before it goes through the pipeline. So eventually there's like a truck come to get.
No, everything's shipped over pipeline.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah. So we take truck crew also over there. We have 6 offload bays over there where semis will come unload over there.
Okay.
But we ship everything to Plains All American. We have a custody lack over there, and it goes underground all the way to Cushing.
Okay. And where is that? I'm not from
It's
Oklahoma.
about 60 miles east.
Okay. And then from there, is it taken with? Is it put on to water or
Nope,
semi?
so over there in Cushing, it's held in another tank. I think it's an 800,000 barrel tank over there, and it gets purchased from a refinery.
Okay.
So once it leaves our station, we're done with it.
Gotcha.
That is whoever hedges the producer's oil and buys it, they take it from there.
Okay.
It usually goes to Ponca City, Phillips 66, somebody like that.
Gotcha.
From there.
Okay. So they pump this 40 miles to this massive, place where all the oil is coming in from Oklahoma. That's where it goes to Phillips, Chevron, Shell, whoever's buying it to go to the refinery. And I think you said this, but how many barrels a day?
Right produce? Now we're at 7,200 barrels a day.
Okay.
That's truck and pipeline incoming. So every month you redo your nominations with the producers, and so we're shipping out every other day about 26,000 barrels a day.
Okay. Wow. So that pipeline, that's got to be massive, I would assume, right?
So we own 16-inch, 12-inch, 4-inch, and 6-inch pipeline. The Plains pipeline is a 24-inch.
Okay. And how long is it roughly?
Our pipeline, we have 40 miles.
40 miles. Wow. Okay. So all the way out here, we saw things similar to this. Some of them smaller.
Yeah.
Were those all on the same pipeline?
So everything on this highway right here is going to be hooked into our pipeline.
Okay.
Everything in Kingfisher County is going to be hooked into Mark West. That's the midstream company that owns that facility. There's several different midstream producers out here, or midstream gatherers. There's CP, InLink, and Mark West, but you have dedicated acreages. So they can't come into Blaine County and say, hey, we want to put in a pipeline up here and
right.
this oil. Everything up here is dedicated to us.
Okay.
We have over 200,000 acres dedicated to us.
So M.I.M.S, 200,000 acres dedicated to this company and their pipeline. So he's just kind of saying, there's regulation of this pipeline is for this 200,000 acres. And then the Fisher, I think that's where the King of Tulsa takes place. So this is oil country. That's all there was. Like I said, when we're going out there, every quarter mile, oil rig, oil rig, oil rig.
Yeah,
that's all there was.
Yeah. 40 miles of pipeline is crazy. Folks, understand something, that is just one of the real world assets that are going to be on the platform that need a liquidity pair for the coins that this software is producing every single day that we're acquiring. There are more assets that will be on the platform, adding value to the software and the coins that we're receiving every single day for owning that software. And so for us to be able to get this software at the price of $2,500 right now is still massively undervalued. It's ridiculous. Take advantage. But yeah, we had a great time. It's real, folks, and there's going to be more and more to see as time goes on. But those are big numbers. It's big money that's coming in, and us being so early to be able to take advantage and leverage into that. Normally, the average person, you're not even getting access to an opportunity to invest in that. early on, especially. You have to be an accredited investor. But now, because of decentralization of the blockchain, because of fractionalization, and platforms like, what we're sharing with you guys on how to take advantage and leverage that through the software that they're offering, everything else, it's huge, folks. We're living in the largest wealth transfer in history, and you just got to put yourself in the right position, acquire the right assets, and follow the right people.
Yeah, that's it, man. I mean, people have no idea. So many people are going to sleep on this and then pile on once they start seeing even more validation when, a huge
Yeah,
sports star everyone knows is tokenizing, his real world assets.
yeah. There are going to be people who are going to be like, why didn't I get it at 25? Why did I think that $2,500 was a lot of money, especially when they realize that $2,500 probably is going to be yielding them tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars over time from that software.
Yeah. All right. So last video we're going to share here. This is from the central tank facility. So again, the one I showed you, this one was right across the road that we went to and looked at.
So here, this is our CTF, central tank facility. This is where all the field gathering, the 40 miles of pipeline we have, comes in, gets measured again through our LAC unit, goes into the big tank. We also have 6 offload bays for semis to come in and take virgin leach crude here. We measure it at our LAC unit, and it ships into the big tank here. We have 300 horsepower pumps. It goes out through this LAC unit there to Plains. That's where it leaves, goes underground to Cushing, Oklahoma. This is kind of the central station for everything here.
How many feed into this? Like the place we were just at?
There's 65 of those.
65 of those that feed into just this one?
Yes, sir.
Oh, wow. So yeah, man, I mean, that's me asking those questions. I was like blown away because to me, this alone was massive. Like you're talking about 7,000 barrels a day, but to know that 60 other of, similar oil wells are feeding into this pipeline that's then goes 40 miles to, basically get onto the market. I had no idea that it was this massive when it comes to oil in Oklahoma.
Yeah, it's huge. It's definitely huge. Sight to see.
How deep is the pipe like down that goes out to all the rest of the stuff?
So everywhere your pipeline is about 5 foot. Okay, we require 5 foot of coverage, and then also we're DOT. We're PHMSA regulated. We're DOT regulated, and that's based off our size of pipeline that we own. So your 12-inch and 16-inch pipelines are federally regulated. Your tank is federally regulated. So this isn't like a small mom and pop fly by night operation. You have to keep up with your government compliance.
This ain't no small mom and pop operation, folks. This here is regulated. It's huge. Okay? This is going to be on the platform amongst other real world assets. This software, massively undervalued in my opinion. The coins, massively undervalued in my opinion. Take advantage, folks. It's exciting. And like we said, this is just one of the stops that you're going to see we're going on. The next month we'll be in Tulum, Mexico, checking out the luxury resort. Okay, in Tulum, Mexico, this billionaire is tokenizing his property, okay, on this platform. Okay. So there's more coming, more to see. I'm pumped up, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, and I love what he said there too of like how regulated they are. Obviously we like a smaller government. We don't want to be controlled, but there's certain things you need to be regulated to grow and become bigger.
Definitely.
And that's where we are at in the crypto space. So just a couple other news clips to keep you guys on what's going on. BlackRock has labeled Bitcoin as a risk-off asset. M.I.M.S, can you maybe break that down to help people understand what that means and how huge it is?
Yeah, I mean, BlackRock in itself making Bitcoin a label of risk-off asset is just it's a major indication to BlackRock's position on Bitcoin. As a major risk-off asset, and risk-off assets are huge. One of the risk-off assets that we know is gold. Gold is a risk-off asset, and BlackRock is considering Bitcoin, or is saying that Bitcoin is a risk-off asset as well. So that is a definitely a groundbreaking statement coming from BlackRock for Bitcoin, most definitely.
Yeah, other big news, SEC acknowledges spot Solana ETF filings from 4 institutions simultaneously. 21 shares, Bitwise, Canary, and VanEck, now in review pipeline. So again, guys, I know you're probably beaten down with the price of crypto right now. This is the shakeout. This is the manipulation. They are putting the price down so you stop paying attention, you don't get educated, you stop buying so they can buy it all up. Massive, massive hedge funds are coming in and buying up as much as they can. And they're trying to shake you out of the market because you're looking at the dollar price, not the value.
Yeah. And you know, the ETFs coming in is great, but understand something. These institutions, these, exchanges and these institutions, you know, they're allowing their institutional investors to get exposure to these digital assets where before they didn't even want to.
Right.
And understand something, they don't even really, they're just buying the top assets that, you know, have made a lot of noise, but they don't really know even what we know about these assets, you know, and so it gives them exposure to them, but it's not always an indication that that's the best asset to hold or invest in because, you know, Solana is definitely not, you know, in my opinion, one of the best assets that people should be gobbling up right now. There are a lot of more undervalued and even better blockchains that you want to take advantage of, but it's an indication of the market opening up and institutional investors being able to get exposure to you know, some well-known digital assets and other ones that probably will follow as well. But yeah, folks, I mean, this is bullish news, obviously, because these you know, these states and these institutions, they need yield, and you know, these pension funds and whatnot, you know, people need to make money, and that's where the money's moving to: blockchain, tokenization, you know, real world assets and things of this nature.
And here's the thing is you have to do something different. You can't do what your parents did or your grandparents. You can't just put money in the stock market, hope you get 8% and retire on that. With the massive amount of inflation that's happening, as you can see here, $100 from when the Federal Reserve was created is now down to $3. And it's just going to continue to get worse and worse and worse. It's another great quote here from Matt Gaetz, former congressman. This is what we're talking about, guys. We're talking about tokenizing real world assets onto the blockchain. Tokenization is going to overtake the US economy. Matt Gaetz isn't even like a big crypto guy. Cash is going the way of the beeper. I'm not suggesting in this post that this is good or bad, but it's coming.
Yeah, it's a natural evolution.
There's over a quadrillion, 1.6 quadrillion assets to tokenize. They're going to be coming onto the blockchain. The question is, are you in position to profit from that? Or are you sitting on the sideline? Take action and get educated, guys. So if you want to get into this space, okay, DM us RWA, comment RWA. We will get you the information you need and the education to make sure you're not sitting on the sideline during the greatest wealth transfer in human history. With AI, the way we look at the economy and jobs is going to completely change in the next 5 years. You need to find a way to make money while you sleep and to get digital assets, because that's what this is about, guys. It's scarcity. They can create as many dollars as they want. Once we get something that's substantial on a blockchain, that's it. It's limited. It's scarce. Bitcoin was the first digital limited scarcity asset ever created. We love gold. It's awesome. But you can still always go out and find more gold. You cannot go out and buy more Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies that have smart contracts that don't allow cheating and rigging and manipulation like we see on the stock market today.
Yeah, and before you get to that question, Mike, let me say this about what's coming, folks. You guys have to understand that the market right now is waiting for regulations and a stablecoins bill. Okay, once we get the stablecoin bill and regulations down the pike, it's blast off. Okay, there are trillions upon trillions of dollars ready to come into a stable coin, either like RLUSD or USDC, because institutions, people, they don't want to leave their money in a volatile asset. They have to have an onboarding and offboarding ramp and a stable digital asset that is, backed by and secured by real assets. So RLUSD is setting itself up to be that. Okay. Obviously, USDC is known to do that, right? So all that money is going to be in stable coins. And then that money is going to flow out of the stable coins into the blockchains, okay, into certain cryptos and altcoins. And it's going to go back and forth, in and out, okay? But that's when you're going to start to see the massive rise in value in the blockchain and crypto space. But you want to be early, okay? XRP, XLM, a lot of these ISO tokens and projects inside of the blockchains you need to be aware of, okay? Of these major blockchains. You need to know how to move these assets off of centralized exchanges, move them into your non-custodial, decentralized self-custody wallets, okay? You need to know how to put some of them in maybe cold storage. You need to know how to utilize the decentralized exchanges, okay? You need to learn about the resources and tools that are available. You got to get into DeFi. Now, DeFi is something that more people are going to get in after their assets really take off in value. When their assets are significantly high, they've made a lot of money, you won't have to sell. You'll be able to deploy your digital assets into a liquidity pool or into a farming or staking, earn rewards, and you'll be able to live off that because the assets are so high in value, okay? And the yield that you're going to get is going to be significant enough for you to live off. Okay, things are going to pick up really fast. This is why it's important that you get educated, okay? This is why it's important that you acquire the right digital assets, ISO compliant digital assets, blockchains, and projects that are in these ISO compliant blockchains, RWAs, getting in these real world asset positions. Okay, it's super early right now. Okay, super early right now, and so folks, yeah, get with us, get educated. Tap in.
100%. And great question from D here. Node owners are the validators on chain. So yes, there is a little difference there. There will be nodes and there will be validators.
Yes.
The nodes help secure the validators. The validators do the transactions or secure those transactions. So it's a little more complicated to be a validator, and you also have to have some money up front. But being a node owner and operator is very, very simple. Okay, so we have a special partnership with gofluid.com, and it's cloud hosting solution simplified. So if you guys are wondering, like, I don't even know what a node is, I don't have a computer, I'm not good at programming or anything like that, don't worry, we got you. Okay, it's very, very simple. It's a few clicks where you're hosting your node with them. That's decentralized, but the rewards that you get every day from helping secure the network go right into your wallet. So again, that's why education is so important. Like Ricardo was saying, is we've kept this very simplified. This is like $2 a month for them to host it, and you don't have to worry about anything. No computers, no technical know-how. So this company has literally thought of everything. And when we went out to California, I had a list of 13 things that I was like, if they don't have this, I'm not going to do it. If they don't have this, they had everything and then some. Like I said, this company that we're working with, their team has brought over 100 businesses onto the NASDAQ and the stock market. They know about regulation. I mean, bro, we literally have the former U.S. senator from Utah that ran in the last election that has massive connections to Trump's crypto cabinet, whether it's Cynthia Loomis, the senator from Wyoming, or David Sachs, the crypto czar. He is going there every month to make sure, what are the regulations? What are we doing now? What do we have to make sure we're in compliance to bring these world assets onto the blockchain? So the connections that we have now going all the way to Trump in DC and the White House, to me, is the game changer. Trent Staggs, amazing guy. We got to meet him out in California. Still the mayor in Utah. Ran for the U.S. Senate. Trump endorsed. Charlie Kirk endorsed. Vivek Ramaswamy endorsed. This guy has connections all over Washington. And the fact that we have him on our board, to me, is just one of the most signs of validation that this is it, guys. This is the trust and transparency we have been waiting for on the blockchain since this whole thing started. Was I that good, Mims? You had to leave? That was a mic drop?
might have been a connection. We just kind of lost connection there, but I'm back.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's it, brother. Any last words
I would
tonight?
I was gonna say in regards to that question, yeah, you can be a validator though if you own a node. Okay, but they're two different things. But definitely what you want to do is own a node. Okay, especially at these prices right now before they go up, because the prices are not going to be 2,500 for everybody out there. But yeah, last words. Look, folks, it's February. Okay, ISO compliance takes place. Starts in March. Obviously, I talked about Basel III in July. This is the time to take those dollars and acquire the assets while they're cheap. The market is down right now. There are a lot of projects, that we talk about and we teach that are just, the discount is ridiculous. I mean, you're essentially almost buying the bottom, on some of the projects that are just coming out, some of these blockchains and everything else. And obviously, when we're talking about software that pays you every single day for the rest of your life in crypto, and it's $2,500 right now, software that will pay you every single day for the rest of your life in crypto, that's leveraging RWAs, real world assets, tokenized securities, which is a $1.64 quadrillion market. And we're constantly out there verifying and substantiating and showing the value to the people. What a time to be alive. You got to take those dollars and do something with them, because inflation is going to hit hard. If the inflation for eggs and butter, the staples, milk, is going to go higher, folks, especially from what I'm hearing from my source in regards to the gold reevaluation and other things. So just get prepared the best you can, acquire these assets and hold on for dear life, right? That's it, brother.
That's it. Got to get assets, guys. Thank you for everyone that tuned in. Drop some comments, share this out, like wherever you're watching, Twitter, X, Facebook. Appreciate you guys. And you guys have an awesome week. And we'll see you next week with some more updates on getting wealthy and helping more people. Lace up. Let's go.
Peace.